Hello, and welcome to Sideshow's First Look. Today we're looking at the Mandalorian and the Child Deluxe quarter scale figure by Hot Toys. Now the box for the quarter scale figure is enormous, as you can see right here. They are done with a slip cover over top. You are going to have that Star Wars foil there, and the Mandalorian and the medallion on the box are actually a raised element. Now we're going to lift this slip cover off. Underneath are going to be multiple layers of foam. With the slip cover removed, we see that it has that classic cigar band that's done right across, showing the figure here. Now there is a foam layer on top to protect all of the multiple layers that are going to be in the box. So what we're going to do is remove each layer and show them off individually to you. Tray 1 is a foam tray. It's going to have your figure, Grogu, the additional portrait and ears of Grogu down here in the corner of the hands, and then the swap out hands for the Mandalorian. Now, let's move on to tray number 2. Tray number 2 houses most of the accessories for both Mandalorian and the Child. You're going to have the jetpack and his weaponry, as well as the shift knob from the Razor Crest and the Mudhorn necklace and the items for Grogu. Our third and final tray, that's going to house the pram as well as the huge display base. It's going to feature IG-11. It's got the Mandalorian helmet over here and the heavy cannon that's on the side. Now, the cover that goes over this third and final tray has the attached elements here, and these are going to be the clear display rod for the pram, a clear display rod with the hook that keys in here for the Mandalorian figure, this little loop that is going to hold the heavy blaster to the back of the display base, and this here, which is the power coupling to the heavy cannon. Right now, I'm going to take all these pieces out and put that display base together, and I'll be right back to show it to you. One massive and impressive display base. Let's point out a few of the great features about it. First up is there is a lighting effect in your IG-11, as well as a warm yellow glow light behind the signet and the beskar piece. You of course have your Mandalorian nameplate right there. The IG-11 actually has movable and articulated eyes right there. Attached to the main display base is going to be the power for the heavy cannon. We spin around here, and you're going to see the Mandalorian helmet, and behind here is going to be the power and the on-off switch for your lighting mechanism. It has a display rod for the pram, and then right here, you're going to see that heavy cannon keys into 2 loops that are added onto the back, so it can be removed. You spin it around, and you see the incredible damage to that battery for the heavy cannon as well. Here's another back and side view of the IG-11. All right, our quarter scale Mando and his accessories. You're going to have his weaponry, beskar detonators, as well as flamethrowers, a swap out torch to go onto the helmet. You have a magnetic jetpack. Then we have the Child, or Grogu, with swap out ears, head, and hands, the mythosaur necklace, the Razor Crest shift knob, and his pram. Now let's take an up-close look at that quarter scale figure. Here's that Mandalorian helmet, and when you go quarter scale, you really are able to get incredible paint work on that, so you're going to really see great aging and weathering on that. Here on the side, this piece can be removed and can swap out with a light up torch element. We work our way down. Cape is going to be attached underneath the front. Here on the side is going to be the clasp that will be for the long gun going over. Now the front, his ammunition belt, each of the little ammo canisters are individual and can be removed, and you can use those with the gun. Here on the shoulder, you're going to have the signet on the shoulder. This other one here. Working our way down to the ammo belt here. They can be repositioned. Again, you can remove those. Here on the side, these 3 are magnetic, and they'll lock right into place. Over here on this side, if you lift up these 2, you're going to have a small hook, and that is for hanging the detonator from it. Down here onto the holster, we are seeing that arm gauntlet. Arm gauntlet here is going to be able to attach the flame as well. On the other gauntlet, we're going to have the Whispering Birds, and you do have a swap out version of the Whispering Birds with the pieces extended. You have great aging and weathering on the cape. Now you are going to have this hole here that you see up in the cape, and that works with this loop right here. When you fling that long gun over the back, this will come through the cape and it'll lay correctly. You have great detail as well, also on that ammo patch. The dings and dents here on that armament plate, the holster, this leather strap will go up and over the gun. The great pitting and the different kind of texture on this than the beskar elements over here. Work our way down. You kind of get that remnant of not only Mandalorian, but a hint of Stormtrooper on the legs. Great work of the leather on the boots. As you can see, these are independent elements. They are not sculpted. Again, these can be removed and used with that long gun. And then you get into that tread for walking on all of the different planetary surfaces that we see Mandalorian go. Time to go over points of articulation. All right, we have a ball joint here on the head, giving us lots of range of motion. You're also going to have the joint there in the neck, creating kind of a double joint, so you're able to do great downward looking poses. The arms are ratcheted. You're going to go up to about 90 there. You are going to have that bicep twist, ratchet on the elbow, out to about 90. The wrist is going to be that classic peg with a full range of motion. Forward on the arm, straight out, and also straight back. Now we're talking about the chest and torso articulation. You are going to be able to twist to the side to side bends, and you do have the armament, so that will limit the forward and backward motion of that. Most of that is going to come from the hip and waist. Down here onto the hip, also ratchet, and you get a nice wide leg spread on that there. Now the legs are also ratcheted. Our forward is going to go about straight out there. You're also going to have a ratchet on the knee. It's a double joint on the knee. It's going to be the classic pivot point for the ankle, giving us lots of range of motion and rock. Back motion on the leg to about there, giving us a great walking stance. We're able to twist on the thigh as well. All right, now the figure comes with this sculpt attached, and this is going to be the more open mouth and kind of shocked Grogu look. And we see here on the side, you're going to have the ears beautifully painted in there, very, very lifelike with that hint of fleshy pink to it, the bright eyes on it. Now, the ears will detach, and you'll be able to use these on either of the portraits. Now let's work down. We're going to have that soft fleece-like collar. Now the outfit is attached to the figure and stays on the figure. Let's take a look at it. You're going to have that screen accurate kind of, almost like a little sack, where the frayed edges of it, and then down here in the bottom you see that it's got a little of that dirt and grime from walking around. These cute little hands there. Now I want to show you the articulation, and to do that we're going to lift the costume out of the way. Now of course, even though this is quarter scale, it's very, very small, but you're going to have a full range of motion. This is a ball joint up here for the leg, so it's going to allow us to wiggle it out and forward and back. In fact, when you use it in the pram, you will adjust the legs backward. It also has the feet that'll turn and move as well. Now we move over to the arm. You do have swap out hands. You can see where they're going to attach right here. And you see the joint is very similar to what we see on what we call the wrist pegs usually. It's the same style of motion, same range of motion on it, and that works in conjunction with up here on the elbow we're able to go almost straight out and a little bit above 90 right there. We can adjust the costume back. Now the last bit of articulation is going to be here in the head. It is a ball joint, allowing us to get full range, looking up, down, and to the sides. You'll also be able to remove this, and there is the ball joint underneath. Now here I've gone and swapped it for the other portrait. This portrait is the closed mouth, a little more contemplated, mildly fearful. The ears on this one that come attached to it are in the downward position. The other head sculpt has them in a straight out, and you have the swap out ears with an upward position. Again, the same range of motion, same ball joint used. The Mando Beskar jetpack. They've done some great detail paint here. You're seeing all over it. Down on the lower end, you're able to look up the exhaust as well as the exhaust fan there. The detail up on top, and most important, here on the back, you're going to move the cape out of the way on the back of the figure, and it will magnetically attach. The flamethrower, translucent flame, you're going to have 2 points here where it will attach into the gauntlet. You see how the light passes through there, getting down to that warm, straight out of the ignition point purple, into that cool, almost translucent white, into the warm yellows and oranges, kind of an upward twist to the flame. The swap out light torch that attaches to the helmet, 3 batteries will attach in there. You have the little on-off switch right here. Nice and bright, plugs in and holds into the helmet. Whispering birds in the extended position that swaps out on the gauntlet. Tracking fob, and this will slide directly into the belt of the figure. Now here's the blade. This will slide into the right boot as well. Great paintwork on there, particularly up in the handle where you're seeing the kind of chips in the paint and a little bit of wear on the blade as well. Here's the satchel. Grogu will fit inside and go over the shoulder of Mando. This is done out of a cotton material, nice tight stitching. When you read the instructions, it will tell you which direction in order to have it. You have a flat side and a slight curved side up there on the top. This is the wired grappling hook. It's done on a very sturdy wire, so it's going to maintain that straight, fired from the gauntlet shape. It is a 3-prong on there, as you can see, incredibly long. The detonator, and this here will attach to the hook that is on the belt. Incredible detail on this. There's even a moving detonator switch. He has 1 bar of beskar. Up in the corner is going to be the signet of the Imperial pressed in it, and you have that wave look of the steel all the way through. Sidearm or blaster, great wood grain. When you get into a quarter scale like this, you can really see that there. And the different types of metal, from the shiny that we've seen in the Star Wars galaxy to down into the dark and the black colors. Hints of brass over on the other side. Mando's now famous long gun. When you get into quarter scale, the paint applications can really get into the detail, particularly in the wood grain down here on the stock with that large curve that goes around his arm. You're going to see the little rivets on top. Then you get into the different metal colors. There you have bits of brass, the dark black metal, more of the silvers, and then the aged and patina paint. We get to the front of the gun, we have that heat dispersion off the front. Here on the other side of the long gun, you're going to have the strap, and that's going to attach magnetically onto the front strap of the figure, and that does have motion there. And you're going to have the scope down in the front. You also have it articulated here on the top. It's going to lift up. See the hole that will accept the cartridge. It's going to drop right in. The scope is also removable, and Mando can hold that and use it to look down on. You've got 2 prongs there and the 2 holes there. right and left hands for holding the firearms. Great paintwork on the underglove as well as the leather fingerless glove and the armor on the top. Right and left fist, also with that same great detailing and paintwork. And a right hand for holding the blade and other accessories. Here are your swap out pieces for Grogu. You're going to have the ears in an upward angle. You have two alternate hands to use. The one is more relaxed, the other with a slight curl for using with the pram. Here's the mythosaur necklace and the razor crest shift knob. That shift knob goes into his specially sculpted hands. Now here's that mythosaur necklace on the figure as well as the razor crest shift knob in the hand. I want to remove that so you can see that there is a divot in the hand on either side and it just presses in and holds like so. Here's the blanket for use in the pram. It is folded inside the packaging. It's a soft felt-like fabric, and you're going to place it right inside the pram. The pram, look at the weathering on that. It's going to have all of these great kind of aluminum chips for the paint. You have the bright orange swirls and pinstriping down along onto the side. The underside here is also detailed. Now right here is where that display base stand will attach. I'm going to take it up here on the top so you can also see the detail here. Now to remove it, you're going to push on the sides and lift. Pram case removed. And you're going to see the amazing detail inside. And that kind of ridged front lip that goes all the way around. See the detailed mechanics in the back there. Swoop down, and it almost has kind of the padded leatherette look inside. There is the bright orange in the very back. This has been Sideshow's first look at the Mandalorian and the Child Deluxe quarter scale figure by Hot Toys. And make sure to watch Unsealed and Revealed, where we'll have more fun with this figure. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to let your geek side show.